All right, guys. So the Dallas Cowboys just brung in Zay Jones for a visit. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. It is Mr. Cowboys fan. Before we proceed into the video, of course, leave a like and subscribe. It is I, Mr. Cowboys fan, where we talk about cowboy things. All right, so Zay Jones has apparently been brought in for a visit for to the Dallas Cowboys, of course. And the fact of the matter is, look, I would actually be, I would actually like this move. When you look at Zay Jones, in his career, he has been in the league since 2017. He has had 287 career receptions for 3,028 yards and 18 receiving touchdowns. His most productive season was 2022 with the Jacksonville Jaguars, where he caught 82 receptions for 800 and some odd yards, and he also caught 5 touchdowns. Now, that's not his best season in terms of touchdowns, but as far as overall stats, that was his best year. Now, we were, of course, familiar with Zay Jones a little bit from when we did play Jacksonville, of course, in 2022. And Zay Jones made a couple big catches, including a touchdown that led to Jacksonville's comeback, and they would eventually, of course, win the game. If you look at Zay Jones' career, obviously it's been a little up and down, but overall, I think he could be a solid. If the Dallas Cowboys were to bring him in, I think he would have a great chance of getting that wide receiver 3 job. All right. I know that, I had previously talked about, how Jalen Tolbert, and how he could be our wide receiver 3 and he could, have a breakout season, this year, which again, I'm still, trying to make a Jalen Tolbert video at some time this week. But now with the Dallas Cowboys bringing in Zay Jones for a visit and knowing good and well that Zay Jones is obviously, definitely looking for a job, with somebody, I would say that this definitely changes everything. This changes everything because if we do sign, and bring Zay Jones in, which let's be honest, I think you can, get him for a pretty cheap price. Let's be honest. All right. But yeah, this changes everything. Because if we sign and bring Zay Jones in, obviously we know it's not a flashy move. The Dallas Cowboys don't make flashy moves. And the fact of the matter is, there's nothing entirely wrong with that, especially with the group of guys that we have. We're in a situation and in a spot where we don't really need to make a flashy move. We just need a guy who can be a solid contributor, especially in our receiving core. And Zay Jones will be that wide receiver 3 if we in fact sign him, which again, you can get him for a pretty cheap price. I think we will be able to, pick him up. I don't think that money, of course, is going to have any, problem with how, we're going to be able to bring in Zay Jones. I think it's just a matter of, is he going to have a workout with, anybody else? And if so, and they have interest as well, is he going to, take that job? But I mean, the fact of the matter is that it's either a playoff team that would have interest in Zay Jones, or it's some, like trash garbage team that has absolutely no path and no guide really anywhere. And if that was the case, then he's absolutely going to pick the Cowboys. But either way, from my understanding, I don't know if he has any visits with any other teams. So at the moment, we are obviously the easy picking right now to just be able to, get him a workout, see how he does. I think he'll do well. And then you sign him and pick him up. He will be the wide receiver 3 option. I think he is a good wide receiver 3 option. Rather than Jalen Tolbert, who I have, even before I started this channel, I had beated the drum, with other colleagues about how Jalen Tolbert has such a high floor. He has so much potential, to be a impact player in this wide receiver room for the Cowboys. But the fact of the matter is, it's potential. Now he showed a few flashes last year, which is why I think he could be, great this year. But I'm just saying, he is, obviously still a little bit raw, and, hasn't really proved himself quite yet to the max yet. Zay Jones is an established, wide receiver in the NFL who has shown production, whether that was Jacksonville, of course, or even when he was with the Raiders, he showed that he could be a bona fide plan B, option 2 deep threat for, John Gruden and the Raiders when he was there. Either way, yes, Zay Jones is a really good wide receiver, 3 for this team, and that would change everything as far as, is Jalen Tolbert that wide receiver 3? Either way, I really like this. It would be a really good move for the Dallas Cowboys to pick him up. And he can honestly be that sneaky deep threat, who can actually, get behind a defense. I know his his career stats don't quite show it, averaging 10.6 yards a reception. But when you look at him and when he's been given the opportunities, he can get behind a defense and make plays and get open. So to close out with this video, Zay Jones, Cowboys are trying to bring him in, and I think that would be a really good move for a wide receiver 3, Zay Jones. I think that's pretty good. All right, and I would really like that. So let me know how y'all feel in the comments. But to all my audience, to all of Cowboys Nation, this is Mr. Cowboys Fan, out.